Hello guys, welcome back to the Championship Prediction League, and we're previewing game week 30 in the Championship. I'm joined by Oli Mann. Oli, how are you getting on, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. It's been a decent start to the week. I had a week off last week. I'm back at work, so I'm flustered and tired. So you're getting a really adrenaline dumpy version of me today. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, you should be quite happy because you've had a good weekend in the Championship Prediction League. 15 points, mate. Unbelievable stuff. You got 15, I got 10, Gab got 7, including predicting the Oxford score correctly well on Gab. I'm on 121 points. That means you're on 102, closing the gap. Gab's on 95. I mean, what a week for you, mate. You're absolutely flying.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on a pretty good run. I think if we go back 3 or 4 game weeks now, I'm doing pretty well, getting consistent double figures. The trouble is that you will just not let this slip. Every week you are consistent, 8 to 10, 8 to 10. You don't throw in any shockers. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to catch up the gap, but I've got to just keep being above average and see where we go. It was a good week last week. Let's hope we can back it up.
I've got that Cov DNA. I'm going to blow it at some point. Let's just wait and see. Let's get into our predictions for this game week, starting with Bristol City versus Derby. Derby conceding late against West Brom in that kind of disappointing performance in terms of they should have got the 3 points.
Yeah,
I kind of fancy Bristol City here, Ollie. What about you?
Yeah, just some fun stats. So 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams has been won by the home team. Well, obviously,
Good.
one of the exceptions being that they drew 1-1 earlier this season. 4 of the games between these two teams, 4 of the last 8, I should say, have finished 1-0 to the home team. So that does feel like it's a pretty nice bet. You go Bristol City, 1-0, do you crack on from there? But for me, Bristol City have just been so inconsistent. It seems like they win one, they lose one. They win one, they lose one. I know they threw in a draw against Oxford a couple of weeks ago, but they just can't get any kind of consistency about them. So I don't feel comfortable fully backing them a 1-0 home win. So I'm going to predict this being a draw. I'm going to go 1-1 for me.
Interesting. I like your stats. I was leaning towards maybe 1-0 Bristol City, but I'm actually going to go 2-0 to Bristol City. I think Ardstruber's got a good team. I think they can get a home win to kind of push them back towards those playoff places. And yeah, I'm going to back Bristol City. Gut feeling there. You say I'm quite sensible with these predictions, so let's try and keep that up. Leicester versus Charlton. I mean, Charlton got absolutely humiliated by Millwall, didn't they? And their form is pretty bad at the moment. Leicester finally saying goodbye to Marti Cifuentes. We're not sure who's going to be in charge for this game at the time of recording. I don't know. Is this shackles off for you, Ollie, where they've got rid of the manager and they've got quality and they're going to absolutely put Charlton to the swords? Maybe the kindest fixture aside from Sheffield Wednesday they could actually have this weekend.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think, look, no disrespect to Charlton. I think I really love what they've done this season, coming up and attacking the division, but I just don't think they're good enough. I think they're a team who are going to get relegated ultimately as we get to the end when the chips fall. And on Leicester, I don't think they're going to be consistent for the rest of the season. I don't think they're going to be much improved without Marti Cifuentes. I don't think we're going to see them sort of address all of their problems and suddenly be the best team in the league from now till the end of the year. That doesn't feel realistic. There are bigger issues at play with Leicester, with their squad building, with obviously everything they've got going on off the pitch. However, in the short term, I think they'll have a massive sort of buoyant response. I think the King Power might be a nicer place to play football than it has been for the Leicester players over the last few months. I think it's an unbelievably dangerous place to go this weekend in particular. So I'm going to back a massive home win. I'm going to go 4-0 Leicester.
Oh, my word. Just to remind the viewers, it's 5 points for a game with 5 goals or more if you get the correct score. 5 points on the board. It's 3 points if you get the correct score. And it's 1 point if you get the correct result. I'm not as convinced as you that Leicester's problems were just down to a bit of an iffy manager at the time. I don't know if they run a bit deeper in terms of a fan's going to turn out in their numbers and really get behind this team that have really disappointed them this season. Is there going to be a new man at the helm? We're not sure. He's going to be able to galvanise them. Is Andy King going to be in charge? I don't know. I think a lot of people's minds will change on Leicester. If they lose this game, people will have the relegation alarm bells ringing with a potential points deduction. And I still think they could go down. I think Charlton will stay up. I also think they'll get something here. They need to bounce back. I'm expecting a few additions from Charlton, hopefully defensively, before the window closes. So I'm going for Leicester 1, Charlton 1, and they do need to get points on the board away from home.
It's not a bad effort. There is a comparison for this earlier in the season. A football team who were predicted to be at the top of the league had an awful run under their previous manager. In this scenario, hadn't won in any of the first 5 games. They changed the manager and they pack out the stadium to make sure that everything is flying for Chris Wilder's big return. Charlton won that day 1-0. So it's not against precedent that they can't turn up and sort of poop on the party, as it were. There's got to be a better way of saying that. But they might turn up and do that. But for me, I just think Leicester have got so much quality in that squad. They are better than the team we've seen in recent weeks. Like I say, it's not a long-term fix, but short-term, I expect a reaction on Saturday.
Absolutely. Joining the conversation down below. Get your predictions in the comments. Like and subscribe while you're there, because we've hit 1,000 subscribers. Woo! While we're here on the channel, let's get into the rest of the fixtures for this week. Sheffield Wednesday, Wrexham. Oli, we never talk about Sheffield Wednesday for very long, but it's just going from bad to worse, isn't it, for them? Wrexham got a massive away win at QPR, 2 late goals, and I'm backing them to win this one, certainly. I think I've gone 2-0 Wrexham. Fairly standard, fairly comfortable. A very important 3 points. Wrexham now in the playoffs.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I know we don't want to dwell on it because it's not very nice, but Wednesday haven't scored a goal now since Boxing Day. It's at kickoff. That'll be 7 games and 36 days since they scored around an hour mark against Hull. They've conceded 14 goals in that time. And it's just really grim. Obviously, the talisman Barry Bannon looks like he will imminently be signing for Millwall. And it feels like a season that has just kept on kicking them at every possible opportunity. I think for them now, it's just waiting for May, hopefully getting this season out of the way, getting the new ownership on board, building from there. But I just don't think they're going to offer any kind of resistance to a Wrexham team who are looking good. Like you say, they're in the playoffs now. I'd expect them to pick up 3 points here and maybe cement that spot in the playoffs for this weekend. So I'm going to say 3-0 to Wrexham.
Absolutely. Stoke versus Southampton feels like the biggest draw that has ever been drawn in the draws of the Championship to me on paper. Southampton drawing at Portsmouth. How did Stoke get on this weekend? I can't even remember what they did. Can you remember what Stoke
Pretty
did?
sure they drew 1-1.
Which brings me to my prediction of 1-1. Not much to say about these two teams. I'm a bit frustrated that Stoke haven't been able to push on into the playoffs and really maintain that. Southampton have just been absolutely bang average or below for most of the season, especially in recent weeks under Tom Derecker. 1-1, Oli. Do you disagree?
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to back a home win. I've been really disappointed with Southampton. I just think they are uncreative somehow. They've got all the attack in the world. They've got a fantastic midfield. On paper, everything looks brilliant, but it's just not delivering week after week, game after game. Stoke have got a fantastic defence. They don't give away many goals. I think they've still got the best defence in the league, maybe second best defence now, I think. And I think they'll just keep Southampton out. I'm going to back a 1-0 home win for me on this one.
They do have the best defence in the league. 26 goals conceded. Ipswich have conceded 27. Middlesbrough 29. And yes, Stoke did draw 1-1 with Birmingham last weekend. So, yeah, I'm going for another 1-1. Blackburn versus Hull. Oli, where's the Hull agenda sat right now? Is it firmly in the past now? They've won 3 games in a row and are up to 4th in the league and level on points with Ipswich and 5 points off Middlesbrough with a game in hand. They might finish in the top 2, mate.
Look, I think the XG calculator's broke, right? I think there's got to be an error with StatsBomb, with FotMob, with all of those XG sites. There's got to be a problem because this is another weekend where if you go and check the stats, they lost the XG battle in this game against Swansea. They won the game anyway.
Ollie? What did I tell you a few weeks ago on Sportsman Untitled? I said to you, XG, Schmexg, and you laughed at me. Look at Hull. They're laughing at you.
They are. And you know what? They should be. Every Hull fan, anybody who's watching this, feel free to just laugh at me time after time in the comments because I've got you wrong all season. And I owe you all a massive apology. However, it just doesn't compute for me. It doesn't make sense. I cannot sit there and say that I understand how Hull keep winning 3-0, giving up all the big chances and just scoring goals for fun. I don't know where it comes from, but there's something I can understand. That is that Blackburn have only lost 1 in their last 6 at Ewood Park. The problem is that they seem to draw every game because they've only won 1 in their last 14. Hull are a lovely football team to watch right now. I think they're still the best team to watch in the Championship, but I just can't get behind the fact that this will continue. At some point, I think it has to revert to the mean. I'm going to say something stupid. I might get it wrong. Laugh at me, please. But I'm going 1-1. Blackburn and Hull, 1-1.
I agree with everything you're saying, except I disagree with everything you're saying as well, because Hull are a winning machine. Oli
They are.
McBurney is brilliant. Carl Joseph's amazing. The midfield's looking really good as well. Regan Slater doing well. And yeah, Blackburn 1, Hull 3. I think they'll go there again. I
Yeah.
think it'll be end to end. I think there'll be chances. Once again, I think Blackburn probably won't take the chances, as Potnik didn't take his chances against Hull at the weekend. And I think they'll come out winners, and they're probably going to score 2 or 3 goals every game with the way they go forward. So yeah, I'm backing a big Hull away win. I don't know if I've backed anything for the bonus points yet this week, so maybe I need to do that moving forward. Ipswich, Preston. Ipswich, you got a close look at them this weekend, Ollie. Battered, and I was very happy about it too, by Sheffield United. I think they'll probably win this one because Preston look really poor as well. 4 defeats in a row, if you include the FA Cup game. 4 games without scoring as well. So probably a home win to 0. I'm going to go 2-0 Ipswich. How about you?
Yeah, home win to 0 feels like a banker here if anyone's sort of thinking about what they want to do with some of their own predictions coming together. Preston have conceded 7 in their last 2 games, a 3-0 loss followed by a 4-0 loss. I'm going to predict that continues. Another bad defeat away from home for Preston, 4-0 to Ipswich. I'm going, Ipswich were really poor at the weekend. I thought they were really bad at Bramall Lane in terms of their creativity, in terms of the way they played forward. But I'm going to say that was an aberration. It was an off day. Everyone can have them. They've been in fantastic form other than that. So yeah, 4-0 Ipswich.
That's big. No Nunes, who seems like the link man for Ipswich in the number 10 position, and they struggle without him. Philogene out as well. Obviously, Jack Clark does a brilliant job on the left instead of him. I think Nunes is so important for them. I think maybe Mehmeti might be the answer in the number 10. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Arguably the game of the weekend, Middlesbrough versus Norwich. Ollie, I'm handing over to you for this one because I don't want to talk about Norwich after what they did to Coventry on Monday night.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about Norwich after what they did to Coventry. You don't want to talk about Middlesbrough because you're terrified of that spectre behind your shoulder. But yeah, it's the 2 form teams in the division, isn't it? I think Boro have won 4 league games in a row. Norwich have won 4 games in all competitions in a row. And both of them look like they're taking huge strides forward since the end of that sort of Christmas period. They've come out the other side. They've come out absolutely flying. For me, right now, Boro look like the team to beat, don't they, in that automatic promotion race? They just look like a team who keep on coming. Kim Hellberg has put together a bit of a machine there. He seems to have brought the best of Rob Edwards in the defensive structure, the best of Michael Carrick in the attacking creativity, and he's brought them together to just be an absolute machine at the top of the championship. I think this is going to be the best game of the weekend. I think it's going to be the most fun game to watch of this weekend. I think both teams are going to go out there and attack it. I really like the improvements that Norwich have brought, but I don't think it'll be enough. I'm going to say 3-2 to Middlesbrough. I want my bonus points.
Blimey, that would be... Can Middlesbrough just drop points, lose a game? Look what Norwich did to Coventry. They need to go and do something similar at Middlesbrough. I think McCarmer is just a fantastic striker. His link-up play, his size, his speed, his finishing. What a gem they've found there from lower leagues in Lincoln as well. Ultimately, though, 4 wins in a row for Boro, and I know we get carried away when teams win 4 in a row and predict them to win a 5th, and they tend to slip up. It happened with Watford and Wrexham. I think Middlesbrough will win this game. I'm going to go 2-1, very similar lines to you. But yeah, I'm worried about Middlesbrough, to be honest, mate. Could be level on points with Coventry come the end of Saturday. Millwall, Sheffield United. This could be the game of the weekend, actually. Millwall flying, superb home form. Millwall have won 3 of their last 4 and probably should have beaten Coventry at the CBS Arena in the game they did lose. Sheffield United, I don't know, mate. Hit and miss away form. What's going on? Maybe I'm going to go for my bonus points on this one.
Ooh.
Start Gus Hamer. Start Callum O'Hare. Keep that link play going. Millwall 3, Sheffield United 2.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, United. I was ready to write us off. I was sat there. I texted you last week. I predicted a 4-2 win for Ipswich. And I said, that's it. We draw a line under the playoffs. We say, nope, it can't be done. We'll sit in mid-table and it'll be fine. And then we go and put in the best performance that we have put in a long time. We were so good against a team who at the time were the form team in the division, the best team in the league going back 10, 15 games, I think it was on the form tables. We were more than good value for that 3-1 victory. It could have been more. Their goal comes obviously from a penalty. It was a penalty, no arguments, but it was one of the only chances they had in the game. And so, yeah, it's one of those where you want to be confident, but that's Tanganga suspended. That's Samari suspended after his stupidity at the weekend. It's Bamford suspended. It's hard to see how we could go away to Millwall which is a hard enough game as it is. If we went there with a full squad, I would probably still back us to lose. Going there with 3 key men missing, potentially 4 if Riedewald's not back fit, I just feel as though this might be a game too far for us. The away form has been a real problem now, going back 3, 4, 5, 6 games, I think it is. And so, yeah, there's no shame in it, but I'm going to back a 2-1 win for Millwall.
And what a result that'll be for them as they push towards the top 2 as well. The chasing pack closing in, and I'm sweaty at the top of the league. Oxford versus Birmingham, and Matt Bloomfield had a brilliant start to life at Oxford, undefeated in 3 games so far, 2 home draws, and then went and beat Leicester away. Birmingham's away form is absolutely honking, but I think they'll get a point here. I'm going to be on the fence. I think it'll be a good point for Oxford. They just need to keep them ticking over, keep themselves in contention, pick up the wins where they can. I am going for a very safe 1-1 here because Birmingham just don't impress me that much, Oli.
They don't impress you much.
I was in my head, I think.
I was like, do I commit full 8? No, I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to stop at much. I agree. I'm going to join you on the fence. I'm going to say 1-1. I've written down in my notes, Birmingham actually seemed to solve their away day issues. They won 1. Oh, wait a minute. It was at Hillsborough. Never mind. They probably still have a problem away from home. So, yeah, I'm going to go.
They've even won that game. They nearly didn't win that game.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I'm going to say 1-1. I think Birmingham's away form is a massive problem for them, albeit that they are in a decent nick of form at the minute. I think they're unbeaten in 5. But, yeah, I think both teams might look at that as a relatively positive point.
Yeah, absolutely. Portsmouth versus West Brom feels like a relegation 6-pointer already. West Brom, as I mentioned, rescuing that draw at Derby and ending a run of 10 defeats in a row on the road. Portsmouth 1-1 against Southampton. How important is Fratton Park going to be? Can it keep Portsmouth up? Have they got enough to get over the line? All big questions that this weekend will tell us a lot, I think, Oli. I'm edging ever so slightly towards Portsmouth in a 1-0 win. Horrible game. Nobody wants to be there. Probably driving rain, some sort of storm, floodlight failure, maybe delays the game for 15 minutes. And West Brom are just left pointless at the end of it and in deep, deep trouble. That's how I see this one going.
Clip it up. West Brom left pointless. That's where you've got to leave it. I agree. I think this is a home win. West Brom's away record is just atrocious, isn't it? It's the worst in the division, obviously, barring Sheffield Wednesday. And I think that's going to continue. Portsmouth are going to be decent at home. It's what they've built their foundation to stay up on. It's what they did last season. They're trying it again this year. I think that's a massive result as well, because it not only puts them above West Brom if they win this one, they're above West Brom with, I think it's 2 games in hand on them, which would just be absolutely huge psychologically in West Brom starting to panic. I do think it was an improved performance from them at Derby. You know, you go back and look at some of the stats of that game. They deserved their equaliser towards the end. But ultimately, they can take some encouragement from that. You can start to think it's a positive performance. I think you'll be back down crashing here. So, yeah, 2-1 to Portsmouth for me.
West Brom, 15 away games, 3 wins, 1 draw, 11 defeats, conceding 25 goals on the road, which is more than Sheffield Wednesday have conceded in away games this season. There you go. So that's how poor they are on the road. And Eric Ramsey needs to sort that out immediately. A couple of games to go now to round off. QPR versus Coventry. I've talked about Cov so much today. We are the most wide open league leaders anyone has ever seen. We're so easy to get out. We're so easy to play against right now. We concede so many chances and hopefully Rushworth saves them. It's high risk, high reward football, playing so many attacking players, basically 6 players on the defensive line most of the time. QPR, we should be feeling confident that we can go there and win. I can't predict us to do that right now. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw for this prediction league.
Simon is worried. I can see the
worried,
sort of
rattled, everything.
Yeah,
I mean, what an awful position to be in. What an awful position for a football club to put me in. We were so good at the start of the season. 11 wins out of 12. 13 points clear at one point, Oli. Now it's 3.
Let me say, I have been there. I've watched United. I've watched us run away at the start of a season and then slowly, ironically, slowly watch Middlesbrough chip away at our lead to the point of, they came to Bramall Lane, I think it was mid-March, beat us. And I put a message into the group chat. Congratulations, Boro fans. You deserve your promotion. You've been fantastic. In the end, we turned it back around because that's what good teams do. Good teams have bad runs. Everybody does. In an automatic promotion race, it's ups and downs that are going to affect this all the way through. But it's about reactions and it's about key moments. this is a key moment because Coventry are on a terrible away run. It's 7 without a win away from home. And if you're going to win the league, if you're going to stay and go up automatically, you've got to change that quite quickly, given where you are right now. That defeat for Ipswich meant that Norwich was a free hit. You can take that defeat, you can draw a line under it and go, you know what? We've not lost anything to Ipswich, and that's what matters. It's all about how they're going to hold the nerve. I am going to predict a win because I think QPR are favourable opposition at the minute. I think this is going to be sweaty. I don't think it's going to be much fun, but I think it's just going to be an away win. I'm going to go 2-1 to Coventry, but I do think you're going to spend a very uncomfortable afternoon watching that one.
I think being sweaty has been mentioned twice for me in this episode already. Don't worry, Cov fans. We've made a signing. Genoa Markello. He's the man who's going to save the day. Sort it all out. Never heard of him. Never seen him play a single minute of football. Don't even know what position he really plays. And apparently he's a winger. But I already know he's going to save our season. No pressure, mate. And we
just what you need, another winger.
Yeah, exactly. To finish, we have Watford versus Swansea. I'll let you go on this one, Oli, mate.
Basically, we all sat here and we backed Watford to finish 4th. They're going to be the best team in the league that's not one of the automatic promotion contenders. And since me, you, Gab and John A all sat and did that, they've been rubbish. I think it's 3 without a win. Some really disappointing draws. I think it's against Blackburn and one of the other relegation battlers. They need a good performance. They've got to blow away the cobwebs, really re-establish themselves in that race to get into the playoffs and make sure they are the best of the rest. And given Swansea's away record, I do think they'll do that. I'm going to back a 2-0, a regulation home win is how I'm going to refer to it.
They need it, don't they? They really need it. Their form, excuse me, because they got beaten 5-1 in the cup as well, let's not forget, and then lost 2-0 to Millwall and have drawn their last 2 games 1-1 against Portsmouth and Blackburn, who are relegation contenders. It's baffling, the drop-off and what's happened. They're only a point outside the playoffs. They should be able to beat Swansea at home, but I just worry that the Potnick's got a bit too much about him. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go for a 2-1 home win, but I think Watford might let me down again here, Ollie. I don't know. I don't know, mate.
It's absolutely possible. It's an impossible league to predict.
We do have, by the way, a handful of midweek fixtures coming, which aren't part of any game week for a few teams to catch up their fixtures on. But I think we'll save that for another video because we've been going for 20 odd minutes here and we'll be back later in the week, after the weekend and give our analysis on the midweek fixtures. Ollie, thank you very much for joining me, mate. I hope you don't do too well this week and you don't keep reeling me in because you're doing remarkably well. Another 15-point week, mate. What's more likely, Cov blow the title or I blow this prediction league game? Both might happen.
It'd be a disaster either way, Simon, from the position that you've both been in. But I'm coming for you. I'm doing my best to reel you back in. I need another big week, and then we'll start to dream, not just of the playoffs, but of winning the Predictions League. And that's what really matters.
Brilliant stuff. Get your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. Please do like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.